Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king and a queen who longed for a child. For many years they prayed and wished, but no child came. Then one day, as the queen bathed in a quiet pool, a little frog appeared beside her and whispered,
"Your wish shall soon come true. Within a year, you will bring a daughter into the world."
And indeed, before long, the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The king and queen rejoiced, and to celebrate, they held a grand feast. They invited wise fairies from across the land, hoping each would bless the child with a gift. But there was one problem. There were 13 fairies, and the palace had only 12 golden plates. So one fairy was left uninvited. On the day of the feast, the hall glittered with lights and music. Each fairy stepped forward to give her blessing. One promised beauty, another granted kindness, a third gave the gift of song, and so it went until 11 fairies had spoken. Just then the doors flew open, and the 13th fairy stormed in, her heart full of anger at being forgotten. Without a word of greeting, she raised her hand and declared,
"When this child reaches her 15th year, she shall prick her finger on a spindle and fall down dead."
Gasps filled the hall, and sorrow spread through the crowd. But before despair could take hold, the 12th fairy stepped forward. She had not yet spoken her gift, and though she could not undo the curse, she softened it.
"The princess shall not die. Instead, she will fall into a deep sleep that will last 100 years. And in time, she shall be awakened by the kiss of true love."
Though their hearts were heavy, the king and queen clung to this hope. To protect their daughter, the king ordered that every spindle in the land be burned. The years passed, and the princess grew in beauty and grace, beloved by all who knew her. Then, on the morning of her 15th birthday, she wandered through the castle halls, exploring rooms she had never seen before. At the top of a winding staircase, she found a small chamber. Inside sat an old woman, quietly spinning flax upon a spindle. "Curious," the princess asked.
"What is this thing you spin so finely?"
And before the woman could stop her, the princess reached out to touch it. The sharp point pricked her finger. In an instant, she fell to the floor, fast asleep. The spell swept across the castle. The king and queen slumbered in their thrones. The cooks and servants dozed in the kitchens. Even the fire in the hearth stood still. Around the palace, a hedge of thorns sprang up, growing higher and thicker, until the castle was hidden from the world. Time passed. 1 year became 10, 10 became 50, and still the story of the sleeping princess spread. Many princes tried to reach her, but the thorns held them fast, and they could not break through. At last, 100 years had gone by. A young prince, hearing the legend, came riding to the forest, and as he drew near, the thorns blossomed into roses, parting to let him pass. The prince entered the silent halls and found the princess lying upon a golden bed. Her face was serene, as though she were only dreaming. Captivated, he leaned down and gently kissed her. Her eyes fluttered open. The spell was broken. All through the castle, the king and queen awoke. The servants stirred, and even the fire leapt once more in the hearth. The princess looked at the prince with wonder, and he smiled with joy. Soon after, they were wed in a celebration brighter than the kingdom had ever known. And from that day forward, the princess once lost to slumber lived awake, loved, and cherished in happiness ever after. Now, little one, let your own eyes close and drift to dreams where kindness and love always conquer darkness, and every story finds its gentle end.